the names. Okay, I'm also recording the meeting right now. And when I record a meeting, it means whatever we discuss will be recorded. So in Zoom, you can also record yourself. Okay, Millicent, unmute yourself right now and tell me the names of the participants in this meeting now. I'm waiting for you.
Say, what did you say?
I said, mention the names of the participants.
Say a database management.
No, I'm talking about the participants. In your Zoom meeting, tap on your screen, you see at the bottom that says, you see something called participants, and you see a number. Click on it and the participants will show. Read the names of the participants to me.
Oh, okay. Say Jemima,
Uh-huh.
Basilatu,
Uh-huh.
Josephine,
Justin.
Professor, and Millicent.
I can't see Millicent. I see Infinite Hot 9.
Infinite Hot 9.
Okay. Now, do you see what I'm doing right now?
Yes.
Okay. I want to teach you something here. And this thing is called DB. And DB stands for database. I believe you can hear me. Now, a database is an organized collection of data. An organized collection of data that is held or stored in a computer. So an organized collection of data stored in a computer. Now, when we store data or files in a computer, you'll see that we store the files in folders that we can find. Sometimes you are given data to store, and you will have to store it in a computer in a way that it can easily be accessed, managed, and updated. And that is a database. And a database is a large collection of data that you organize in a way that a computer can store it. And after the storage, it can easily be accessed, managed, and updated. One thing you learn about databases is that databases are made up of tables. Now, without databases, we will not have IT. So if you're in IT, or you are studying about IT, or you want to be a computer literate and you don't know anything about databases, it means you don't understand what is making IT possible. IT stands for information technology, and in IT, we deal with information. It's all about information technology. Now, this information, which technology are we using to store the information? It is databases. Databases are behind IT. And what I'm teaching you now is that in databases, we have tables. We have tables. It is tables that make up the data structure, and the data is actually stored within tables in the database. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to ask you to tell me what I said. In the world of databases, the tables we use have what we call fields and records. Now, a field is the same thing you know as a column. A record is the same thing you know as a row. But in the world of databases, we call them fields and records. All right. So now I'm going to ask you some questions. I want you to tell me what I said about fields and records. Okay, Josephine, are you in the house? Unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Josephine is number one today. Today I'm having a meeting with Josephine. Excellent. Now, what is a field in database management? What is a field in database management?
Sir, colon.
A field is the same as column. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I'll give you a trophy, Josephine. This is for Josephine. Josephine,
Thank you, sir.
excellent. Okay, now you can mute yourself now. Fasila too.
Sir,
Excellent. I want to ask you to explain records. What do you mean by records?
the records are the rules.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh my goodness. Records are the rows. The rows are called records. In the world of databases, rows are called records. So a record is an entire row. Let me show you one from here. So then this whole thing here is a record. So over here we have records, and the record, okay, let me show you well over here. So here we have a field. This is a field. So all these are fields. So I've just selected one of them. You can see the arrow pointing to all the fields. Fasilatu, can you see this?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Now, oh, Fasilatu, I didn't give you a trophy. See, this is for you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, when you come to records, you can see that all these are records. So the arrow is pointing to all the records in this table. And I've selected one of them for you to see. So in databases, we have fields and we have records. Excellent. Now, I also talk about relationships. In databases, all the tables have relationships. They are all related to each other, and you can see the connecting lines connecting all of them. This man here is a database administrator, and his job is to create and manage databases. So if you want to manage databases or create databases, your job will be a database administrator. Now, what he's doing now is that he's planning a database. He's planning a database, and when you are planning a database, you need to plan with the table names and the fields you will use. So I want someone to count the number of tables on the screen for me right now. Now my participants have dropped. Okay, so let me go to, okay, Josephine is on. Josephine, tell me the number of tables you see.
Sir, 7.
You see 7 tables. Okay, which table is this? Which
Product table.
the product table. Excellent. So now the database he's designing, he will need a table to store products. He also need a table. This table is called what? This table is called, it's
Hat.
called cart. Then this is others, other items, inventory, customers, login, and category. So he's actually building an online shopping site where people can shop online. That's what he's doing right now. So he has created tables to store the data for this particular online system they're about to create. All right, now I'll end my meeting by showing you some of the database systems out there. There are a number of database systems. One of the most famous ones is over here called Microsoft what? Access. Microsoft Access. So Access is a database system, and it is called a DBMS. DBMS. What does DBMS stand for? Fasilatu, what does DBMS stand for?
Database.
Excellent. So DBMS stands for Database Management System, and a DBMS is a computer software. The same way Access is a software, DBMS is a software, and it is used for creating and managing databases. So when they ask you what is a DBMS is a software that is used to create and manage databases. So all the programs or software applications that are used to create and manage databases are called DBMS. Now, some of them are called relational DBMS or RDBMS. RDBMS talks about the DBMS that uses a relational model, or DBMS that allows relationships to be created. There are some older DBMSs that do not allow relationships, but modern DBMS allows relationship. And the DBMS used today are RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. All right. Now, I want you to remember some of the names of the DBMS. They are all DBMS. They are still DBMS. If you can remember the names of this DBMS, then it means you have actually learned something about databases. So I'm going to mention the list and I'll tell you 5 of them. I want you to remember those 5 and I'll end my class now. Now, you see popular examples of DBMS, and all of these are RDBMS. The first one here is access. It is important to remember access. After access, we have a higher DBMS called SQL Server. SQL Server is also from Microsoft. This is the icon here, Microsoft SQL Server. So remember, I've talked to you about access. Access is on your PC. You all know access. It's on your PC. It's part of the Office programs. Then we have SQL Server. Now, this one here is called SQLite. SQLite. This SQLite is actually the database behind mobile apps. So if you have a mobile app or you have used a mobile app before, this is a database behind your mobile apps. Listen, what we are learning is the backbone of IT. You have to take it seriously. At least remember 5 of the DBMS systems I'm talking about. This one is SQL Azure, and it is from Microsoft also. We'll talk about that later. We have Oracle database, which is one of the most popular database management systems out there, and is one of the most secure database management systems out there. The banks are running Oracle databases, and I want you to remember Oracle databases. Then the next famous one is MySQL. MySQL is a database behind web applications. If you have used Facebook before, the database Facebook is running is called MySQL. Then we have FileMaker and we have Postgres SQL and others. So the 5 I want you to remember, number 1 is Access. Remember Access, Microsoft Access. Number 2 is SQL Server from Microsoft, Microsoft SQL Server. Number 3 is SQLite for mobile apps. Number 4, Oracle. Number 5, MySQL. MySQL. All right, I can see someone else in the meeting. Kekeli Francisca, you are welcome. Kekeli, you are welcome. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so today we are having an online class and we are just having fun right here. This is how the online class is conducted. If you check all the universities in Ghana, this is how they are having their classes. So their lecturer will be on their computer and will teach online. So they can share files, they can share their screen. So you can see my screen. Whatever I do on my screen, you'll be able to see it. And I can teach you from here. You can hear me from wherever you are. You can also participate, and it's live. This is a live session, and the class can also be recorded like I'm recording right now. On your screen, you'll be told that the class is being recorded. Excellent. Now, if you will pick anything from the lecture I've given this morning, it is what I'm about to say. You need to remember the definition of database. You need to remember what tables are, what fields are, what records are. Then remember 5 database management systems. Remember 5 database management systems. So now I want you to define a database. Let me go up and let someone define a database. Okay, so Fasilatu, this is for you. You have to tell me what a database is. What is a database?
A database is an organized collection of data held in a computer so that it can be easily accessed, managed, and updated.
Excellent. This is what a database is. A database is an organized collection of data held in a computer so that it can easily be accessed, managed, and updated. What it means is that any organization that stores data, any organization that stores data needs a place to keep their data because they have so many customers, they have so many employees, there's so much information, and if they don't store the data somewhere, they cannot use it. So where do they store their data? They store their data in databases. Let me give you an example here of our school, how we are storing our data here. Okay, so I'm opening a system here, and this system here is storing the data of our school. So I want to tell you, I want to show you how this school stores data. Please, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now what I've opened to you is our database in AHI. This database has all the students. You can see someone with student ID 61. We have someone with student ID AHI is 1. So if you know your student ID, you see the number of students that have gone through the school. Now listen, let's say I need information about a student who completed 3 years ago. I need to type either their name or their student ID or their phone number to search for them. Let me use a name. To make it simple, let me use a name of someone in this meeting. Joseph, what's your surname?
Amenuke.
So when I type Amenuke here, watch this. When I hit enter, this database is going to pick your data for me. Is this your name?
Yes.
Saying that
Yes.
you live at Ho Ahwe, Casa Street, house
Yes.
number 23. Is that your house?
Yes, sir.
Is that your student ID?
Yes.
Is that your telephone?
Yes.
And I can see that you work as a salesperson now. Is that true?
No more, but I used to.
You used to. Okay,
Yes.
so I want you to get the idea of what is going on right now. Let me tell you, this school has information about every student. Where do we keep that information? In a database. In a database. The database I'm using here is called Mysql. I can find information about everyone. I will just need to type something about you to search for you. And listen, Justin, when I click on this, I'll get more information about you. I'll see every information about your personal details. I'll get information about your SS. I'll get information about your attendance. I'll get information about your fees. I'll get information about your examination performance and your class performance. Do you get all that? All this data, if they are not stored, they cannot be useful later. But with a database system, this data can be stored and used. Are you with me? So how do we or why do we have to store data? Because we will need the data. Right now, if I need to call Josephine and I don't have a number, can I get a number here? Let's say I want to call Kekeli.
Yes.
Let me type Kekeli and enter. When I type this, I can see that in this school, we've had a number of Kekelis. I have Elizabeth Ati Kekeli, Miss Kekeli Agleke Francisca, William Nuchukwi Kekeli. So which one am I looking for? Is it this one? Okay. So
Yes.
I will see all the Kekelis that have gone through the school, and I will know which one to call. And this is her number right here. I can just call her if I want to. So let's say I don't know her number, I can call her. If I'm looking for Fasila 2, Fasila 2. When I type Fasila 2, is that not Fasila 2? Fasila 2, why are you unemployed? Okay, don't worry. Now listen to me. I can find any information I want. How can I find them? I can find them in our database. That means every organization has a database, runs a database. If you are not running a database, you do not have anywhere to store your data. Right now, my database has been useful to me because I have one. And this tells you the importance of databases. Databases are behind all of ICT. Databases are behind all of ICT. So if you do not understand databases, then you don't know something about IT, something very vital. Okay. I also said that apart from databases, you should also tell me what tables are and what fields and records are. So I'm going to call the next person. We'll be closing soon. Mama is gone. Okay. Um, the next one is for Kekeli Francisca. I don't know if you were here, but okay, let me give this to Fasilatu. Fasilatu, I want you to tell me the talk to me about tables, fields, and columns. What are they? What are tables, fields, and columns?
The tables, they have the columns and the rows.
Excellent. Excellent. We talked about databases. We talked about tables, fields, and records. And this is an example of a table. You can see an entire table, and the table has fields. Fasila, to tell me the fields you see.
Service users.
Tell me the fields you see. The fields you see. The names of the fields.
Uh,
What are the field names?
Last name, first name, gender,
And
title.
and title and employee ID. They've shortened it to EMP ID. Okay, so just as you have student ID, this for a company, so it's employee ID. It's taking the employees. So you see employee ID, emp ID, last name, first name, gender, title. These are the field names. And we have this whole column is the field. And then we also have the rows. And I want Kekeli now to tell me, give me 5 database management systems. 5 database management systems. And whoever is listening, through another person's phone will tell us who a database administrator is. I'm sure someone else is watching through someone's phone. So if you are such a person, you tell me. Okay, Kekeli, you are on. Tell us 5 database management systems from this lesson. I can't hear you. Kekeli, your mic is on, but I can't hear you. Speak. Your mic is off again.
Sir.
Excellent. Kekeli, talk to me.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, please, I didn't get a question well.
The question is, give me 5 database management systems. We discussed a number of database management systems. Tell me 5 of them.
Sir, please, I wasn't active at that time.
You are not active at that time. Okay.
Yes.
So I showed you this list and I told you to remember 5. Okay, let me move away. Someone else should help. Someone else should help.
Sir, Martha wants to help.
Martha is in the house. Martha, you are so welcome. Martha, you tell us who a database administrator is. Or have you been in a class all this while?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, really? Excellent. Oh, Bright is even here. Bright, because you have not logged in, I don't know that you are here. So I'll be asking you a question too. Okay, so who is giving me some of the database management systems? If you can remember this, then you have learned something today. At least today you've come to school. Yes. So tell me some of the database management systems.
Wait, sir.
Mhm.
Oracle.
Oracle. Excellent. It's called Oracle Database. So Oracle is a very important database management system. And the thing is that the first time I talked about Oracle to my students, they told me that it's a Nigerian movie. How can Oracle be a Nigerian movie? Because they've been watching some Nigerian movie called Oracle, and they've been seeing Oracle and Juju and things. So when we say Oracle, then they think of Nigerian movie. Listen, Oracle is not Nigerian movie. In IT, Oracle is a database. In IT, Oracle is a database, and it's one of the most powerful databases out there. The banks are using Oracle. The banks are using Oracle to secure their data. So Oracle is a database. Okay, now tell me another one. Apart from Oracle, unmute yourself and tell me.
SQL Server.
SQL Server, excellent. SQL Server is excellent. SQL Server. So we have Oracle, we have SQL Server. One more.
MySQL.
MySQL. So MySQL, like I told you before, is used for web applications. So if you have used Facebook before, Facebook is running on MySQL. AHI database is also running on MySQL. And MySQL is very easy to use if you have a website. So you can use MySQL on your website. So if you have ever had a website, your database will be MySQL. Okay, so we've talked about three. I want you to repeat all the 3 back to me.
Oracle.
Oracle,
SQL Server. MySQL.
MySQL. Let me tell you what you have learned, and what you have just told me is worth $1 million. Don't forget them. It is huge. This is ICT. ICT. All right. Now, I told you to mention five. Don't forget Access. Access is the first one you should always talk about because it's the easiest to learn, is the database for beginners, and is the most simple database in the world. And you all have access. You all have access on your computer. If you have Word, then you have access. So Access is one of them. Give me one more. Give me one more.
Access.
Okay, apart from Access, we need five.
Hey,
So this is the last one I'm expecting. But SQL Lite. SQL Lite. And I said SQL Lite is used for what? Those of you who were in the class before, I said SQL Lite is used for what?
100.
It's used for mobile apps. It's used for what?
Mobile apps.
Used for mobile apps. So we have listed 5 database management systems: Microsoft Access, Oracle Database, SQL Server from Microsoft. So it's called Microsoft SQL Server. We've talked about MySQL and SQLite. Let me tell you, if you can remember this, you have learned something. So I want you to keep that in mind.
Check on your Facebook. Check on your Facebook.
Right. So that is wonderful, and that is wonderful, and we are glad to have this experience because you have to get this experience. So I created this to give you the experience. Now I want to know how many people are listening to me. I can see only 3 people here, but I want to know who and who are listening to me.
I'm in
Josie,
Rebel Evans.
Martha.
Martha, Kelly,
I'm in Rebel Evans.
Amanuveve Evans. Okay. And who else?
Martha.
Okay, Martha, I've registered you.
Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Elizabeth is here. Okay. That's all. Eh?
Bright.
Right. Let me hear your voice.
Let me mention my.
Okay. Right. Right.
Say I'm here.
Excellent.
Your boy is here.
Excellent. Guys, mention one database management system.
Dennis.
Ben is also in the house.
Mention.
Okay, Bright.
Yes.
Mention one database management system.
What is database management system?
Yes.
It's a computer software.
I didn't say define it. Give us one example of a database management system.
Okay. Oracle.
Oracle database. Excellent. That is fine. So we are going to end our meeting here. And it has been great having you online live with me on Zoom. So it is good to be using this program to have meetings if you cannot meet in person, so that
About the band.
so that so that
The app has been finishing.
so that you can still have a live meeting. So the meeting here has been live, has been fun, has been exciting, and has been great. So from time to time, we need to be organizing meetings, and we need to have our lectures online. So I want to thank you all for joining me. I want to thank you all for joining me in
All
this
assume
online class, and all my Zoom students, you've done so well. At least I've seen your efforts in trying to learn and to learn new things that you are told and to get new experiences. So thank you all once again, and I will
Thank
see
you.
you. I'll see you in the next.
Thank you.
I'll see you in the next meeting. All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
We'll see you.